Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We have the jet hanger F86 back on the channel. My original video intro somehow did not get captured at the flying field, so just thought I'd give you guys a quick update before the actual flying begins. A couple of things from the previous video where we did the cockpit build. I ended up moving the aft section of the cockpit back and the pilot back a little bit as well. That was a visual thing. Oops, large wing. It was a visual thing, and anyways, airplane flew fantastic, even though we did add probably 5 or 6 ounces between the cockpit and the vertical change to the tail, which looks so much better, by the way. And flew fantastic. So we had some nice cool weather and even a little bit of a headwind on the first flight. Flew great. The second and third flight, I thought I was running into a tune issue on landing. Turns out I was just running it out of fuel. So both my second and third landings were dead sticks. Thankfully, it quit right at the end of the runway, so not a huge deal. I just got rid of the speed brakes and was able to bring it in for a nice landing. But anyways, flew fantastic. We used the MC8 plugs that I got from Peter Goldsmith. And I mentioned before that I had ordered some other ones off of eBay that I found. Well, it turns out that only one of those was, one out of the 5 was an MC8. The other 2 were MC9s, which are a colder plug, which those could work. And then I also got an MC59, 2 of them actually. Those are hot plugs. I wanted 8s. I ended up with those. I put a hot plug in a little Texan, and it actually ran pretty good. And I also found this really cool old school top flight prop in my junk box, and it actually worked really well. So anyways, back to the Sabre. Flew great. We also switched fuels this time out. So originally I was flying on 5%, and this time was a mix of 10 and 15. So it was about 12-ish% on nitro, and in order to keep things safe at the same RPM as it was before on the 5%, I ran it a little bit fatter, so a little more fuel flow, and I just wasn't thinking it was going to affect the flight times as much as it did. So I went from about an 8-minute flight with a little bit of reserve to just over 7 minutes with nothing. So anyways, and there's still a little bit of fuel left in the tanks. That's why the first time it quit, I didn't think it was a fuel issue, even though there was air in the lines. So anyways, long story short, I was running out of fuel. So now my timer, I need to be on the ground at 7 minutes unless I'm throttling back a little bit, which I should have been doing more during the flight, and I wasn't this time out because I was having too much fun. So anyways, that's where we are with the Sabre. Flew great, enjoyed the flight. It was ripping really good. Had a nice solid smoke stream, which before I was running a little bit too lean before too, which wasn't helping. So anyways, so we're running it a little fatter, trying to keep the motor happy, even with the higher nitro content. And the new plugs ran great. I used the same plug the entire time, although I had to change one out before I even got to fly it for some reason. I test ran the MC8 plug a couple days before we went flying, and it ran great. And then I got to the field and it wouldn't start. And I'm like, man, what the heck? So I pulled the plug, not thinking there was anything wrong with it because it was essentially brand new and it was not glowing at all. So I don't know how that happened, but the coil looks totally normal. So I don't know how that broke, but it broke. So anyways, MC8s were great. Thank you, Pete, for those, and enjoy some nostalgic classic goodness. Also, you might notice new toy / old toy. It's a very old model. We'll get into that one at some point. And A4 is next on the list, so stay tuned for more A4 videos. We also have some Scale Masters prep to do before that event in a few weeks, so we'll be doing some of that. Might even be competing with this just for fun. We'll see. Anyways, enjoy the video. We'll see you next. We got a fresh patch of runway here, so crazy to watch it accelerate as it gets going. It's really hard to see in this hazy air though.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
For a brief moment, I considered competing with it, but that thought didn't last real long. It's too much to think about to compete. I don't know. This haze is killing my smoke trail. You can barely see it today.
Time remaining 1 minute.
One more burner pass here.
30 seconds.
slow down when you hit the speed brakes. Didn't work. Or not. Oh, jeepers. Yeah, I did not seem happy for to go around, so abort.
Minus 1 minute.
That was a crappy landing. Let's see what we got left in fuel. Maybe do another takeoff in a minute.
Minus 2 minutes. Minus 3 minutes.
Alright, here we go. Okay, that. That's weird. It quit on me on one of the other landings too. It's almost like maybe the low end set a little too lean or something. Could just be the plug. Might need a little bit different tune on the low end. So, because like I said, one of my previous flights, it quit on me on final like that. So, anywho, well, she lives to see another day. I think everything's all right. I checked the plug after that happened last time, and it was fine. Oh yeah, I think it has a hard time picking up fuel when the fuel's that low because there's nothing but air in the line. So, not a tune issue, just ran out of fuel. Even though there's still fuel in the tanks, it's not picking it up apparently. There's about this much in the bottom of the tank. So, anywho, hope you guys enjoy that, and we'll see you in the next one.